Alright guys, so I thought I would make a basic ChatGPT video for those who are stuck on trying to create documents. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you don't really have to get an account, but sign into ChatGPT with your Google account. If you don't have a Google account, create one and sign into ChatGPT and you'll get to a screen like this. I'm not showing my sidebar because I have quite a bit of stuff that I use for research, so I'm not going to be showing the left side, which shows the menu, but on the left side you actually have a button called Explore GPTs. If you click on that, you'll get this menu here, right? And you can pretty much type in any topic you want into this search box. And in our instance, we're going to type in law, and it's already there because I used it before. But you can type in law, hit enter, and it will show you different types of customized training programs that can work with ChatGPT. So as you can see here, you have US law, you have California law, UK law, Australian law, etc. So you can kind of use an external training algorithm other than just the vanilla ChatGPT that is not really geared to anything specific. So if you're looking to, craft a specific type of document, you may want to kind of use a specialized ChatGPT training program, right? So I just used this one down here. Once you click on it, it will sometimes give you this option, sometimes it just pops up the chat window. If you click on it, now you'll see that instead of ChatGPT here, you see the law icon, and it's showing you which company made this kind of ChatGPT modification, right? And up here on the top left, you also have a menu where you can go back to the different options that you have for that specific ChatGPT, basically extension. Alright, so enough of that, right? So now that we got through the basics, in the last video I was talking about how your name is not really set up properly on your identification cards, and even on your passport, believe it or not. Your name is in all capital letters, and based on the United States Styles Manual or the Chicago Styles Manual, your name is not actually spelled correctly. More specifically, your name is actually spelt like a dead person. That's how they write names on tombstones and on cemetery, pieces which show who died and who was buried in that location. So how would we go about creating a legal document? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to put some parameters in here, right? So we want to put in what we want ChatGPT to do. So let's get some information in there. Alright, so I just put in this text in here to not bore you with typing in all the details. So here we're saying, according to the U.S. Government Publishing Office Style Manual, proper names, which is section 3.3, proper names are capitalized. Examples include Rome, John McAdam, Italy, Brussels, McAdam family, Anglo-Saxon. Also, according to Velasquez versus East Stroudsburg, it is well established that words and phrases in a statute must be construed according to rules of grammar and their common and approved usage. Section 1903A of the Statutory Construction Act of 1972, blah 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 blah. Please craft a succinct and specialized demand letter to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service and the Department of State, instructing them to update their records to use my proper name according to these rules. My proper name would be family name, and of course this is an example here, right? So make this an emergency request demand. Emergency demand requiring immediate attention, as you can say, it impacts my legal status, right? And this is how you would craft a letter using ChatGPT, right? So you're telling it what parameters you want it to use, and then you're telling it to craft a specific type of, document. In this case, we're crafting a letter, right? And we're telling it exactly what the letter should say, what it contains, what it needs to, remain within the parameters of, and you hit enter. Now, once we hit enter, it will acknowledge what you're saying, and it will simply craft the letter that you ask for, right? And here it has USCIS, address, Department of State, address. So it's leaving these options here for you to fill in the blanks. Now, if you want to put in your information, you can tell it what your information is, and it will fill this in for you. All of these details, these are because you didn't provide that information. It basically created a template for you. But you can literally tell it what your information is, and it will fill in all the details for you. Right? But of course, I do not recommend that. I believe that you should always take this and you should read through the whole thing and make changes as you go. So that way, you're completely familiar with what exactly this thing just created for you. And sometimes you can catch errors. Like I catch a bunch of errors all the time, especially with citations, addresses, legal citations, etc., etc. But anyways, let's see what it crafted. It says, I am writing to urgently demand that the USCIS and Department of State immediately update all records to accurately reflect my proper name, in accordance with established legal rules and statutory requirements governing the usage and spelling of proper names. My legal name is as follows: family name Smith, given names Hunter Jackson. This name must be reflected in all official documentation. The U.S. Government Publishing Office Style Manual, Proper Names, Section 3.3 dictates that proper names are to be capitalized correctly, which includes family name and given names. Furthermore, as established by Velasquez versus East Stroudsburg, the Statutory Construction Act of 1972, words and phrases in statutes must be interpreted in accordance with their common and approved usage, including names. This is very good. Neatly incorporated without saying too much. Failure to properly reflect my name in your records directly impacts my legal status and creates unnecessary obstacles in my immigration and legal processes. Given the severity of the consequences that could result from this error, I demand that this issue be addressed on an expedited basis. Fantastic. Please confirm in writing that this correction has been made, or provide a detailed explanation of your steps to ensure that the records will be updated without delay. This is an urgent matter and requires your immediate attention. Failure to act promptly may force me to pursue further legal remedies to protect my rights. Alright, so this right here, right? I wouldn't necessarily put this in the first letter. If you're sending a demand to especially a government agency, you don't want to put something in here that can be construed as an attack or as an aggressive ask, right? Yes, you want to make it known that this is an urgent matter. You want to make it known that you're taking this very seriously. You can leave this section here, but failure to act promptly may force you to pursue legal remedies. I mean, if a director or some higher up saw this, they're going to say, okay, you know what, throw this in the garbage. Let's see what the hell he's going to do. Because who is he to come tell us, oh, we're going to pursue further legal remedies to protect your right? Like, huh? We're the government. We have all the legal resources we need. So if you come after us for some nonsense like this, saying that, I mean, they're probably not going to say nonsense, but if you go after them this way, very aggressively, without legal backing, because at this point you don't have any legal recourse to this, right? You're asking for a correction. Yes, it's serious, but you have to be very careful how you approach these agencies. So I would remove this section here. It's a very good example of what not to say. You can leave this. It says, I look forward to your swift response. Sincerely, your name, your signature, your name, your A number or case number if applicable. Okay, so interesting section down here. If you already have a US passport or a green card or any kind of permanent resident or legal document allowing you to stay in the United States, you can go online and you can submit a case request. You don't have to mail this in. However, I would do both if you have the option. I would find out the address for USCIS closest to your area, if necessary, the Department of State for your state, and I would send this by mail, certified mail. Okay? Doesn't have to require a signature, but it's a good idea, right? I would send it by mail so I have a physical copy, and also things that go through the mail is more serious than if you send it by email. Because when you send things by the mail, you're invoking the postal process. So the post office gets dragged into your legal process in case anything happens later, right? You can say, well, the post office is a witness to my documentation if they're claiming they didn't get it, or it looks like it got lost or whatever. You can invoke, the United States Postal Service, right? So very good idea to keep this as a part of your mailing strategy. I would probably also put your email address here. And if there is an email address for USCIS, I would put CC USCIS, CC Department of State, and still mail it. Mailing should not be an option. It should be mandatory, okay? However, that is how you use ChatGPT to craft your documents. Again, you have to give it enough parameters for it to create a document specifically for your situation. So that is how you do it. I hope this was useful and helpful in your quest to do whatever it is that you're doing. All right. Have a great one. Peace.